Ooh, what's up, man? How you doing? What's good? Martin, yo. There we go. Yo, Jamie, thank you for the resub. 25 montheroonies. Shokri, what's up? Hello? Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to be working on some props in Blender. Nothing too crazy. But it'll give us an opportunity, if you guys have any questions about Blender, to just jump in and ask away. I know Eden was talking about UVs, so UVs are a bit funny when it comes to when it comes to Blender, if you're not used to it. Madu's a bit barky today, so he might come in here and hang out with me. We'll see. Okay, I'm just gonna get my own music going. How are you guys doing? You have a good weekend? I know it was pretty hot for some people. Hot indeed. Yeah, man. Where are you at, Boo? Okay. Let me switch over to the... There we go. Oh, interesting little notification there. That's weirdly framed. Strange. Might have to look at that later. I was like, what is that? How do you deal with edge extrusions along normals in Blender? Edge extrusions. What do you mean by edge extrusions? What's up, Najer? Let me recent. So the kit I'm going to be working on is this. It's like a power tray thing. I can show you what it's being used for right now. It's like an electrical overhead tray for lights and cabling. Oh, that's a good question, Martin. So if you want good packing, then definitely need add-ons. And if you want to do some more like advanced UV control stuff, then you need add-ons as well. But generally speaking, you can do quite a bit. Maybe I should get Madu in here. You can do quite a bit with what's already there. All right, let's see. Not faces, but edges. Okay, I'm gonna grab Madu. Here, I'll be right back. Nice. Okay. There's kids knocking on our door and leaving notes on our door. I think your door is brown is apparently what the last note was they put on the door. Gotta love kids, man. They're cool. And then sometimes not so much. Yeah, Madu is probably... Hey, buddy. Yeah, you lay down there. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, that's only going to stress the dog out, right? Well, if we hear knocking again, you'll know because you'll hear Madu. Okay, so UVs in Blender. Chase him with a scooter. If you know, you know, dude. Does Martin know that one? Okay, let me go into Blender here. So first, Martin doesn't know that one. Okay, some kids. I was walking Madu at lunchtime. No, it's right after I got home. I was walking Madu. I'm gonna get this stuff set up while I'm telling you this story. And it was right after work, so I went outside walking Madu, and then I felt something hit me in the back. And I looked around, and then I looked down, and it was like an egg that had hit me. So someone threw an egg at me and Madu, but didn't throw it hard enough, so it just kind of bounced off me, and then it broke on the ground. And then I saw it was these two kids that were on scooters, and I snapped. I went upstairs, I put Madu away, I grabbed 2 eggs from my fridge, came back downstairs, got a scooter, and started scootering around looking for them. And I found them and scared the shit out of them. They thought I was gonna... I showed them the eggs, and then they were panicking. I cut them off at like another intersection just to like freak them out more. I never threw the eggs. I put them back in the fridge. But I don't think I've ever felt more vindicated. They looked scared. They were on their phone. There were 2 of them on one scooter, and one of them even jumped off and like ran another direction. Stupid kids, man. That was apparently that was it. That was the straw, man. And I just was like, they're gonna get an egg, but I didn't go that far. I didn't actually throw it. Okay, so you were supreme first impression, dude. Well, welcome to the stream. I hope the rest of the stream is as exciting as that. If you ever want other stories, I got plenty of random things to talk about. Okay, so the first question was about extruding not faces but edges. So you mean like if you wanted to extrude this edge outwards like this? Is that, I'm imagining that's what you mean? Don't throw eggs at Jared, got it. Take proportion. I mean, this is proportion, but if you go any further than that, that's not really gonna work. Like, I guess you could do this, and then you could like, oh man, extrude this out and then collapse it. But it's just so many steps. I'm not sure why you would want to do what you're describing. Switch from global to normal? Oh, maybe. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. This one's a nice one. So if you hit Alt S, you can scale based on normal. So let's have this now, and then we'll do a loop here, and then you want to extrude off of this. I mean, it's kind of... It looks like it's doing it, but if you go global to normal, I mean, there's no normal vector outside of like the loop itself, right? So I don't know how you would... It's a Maya behavior you really love. Dude, if you can find me a video of that, I would love to see it because I think it could be really useful. And then when it comes to UVs, like maybe I can alter, let's go like pottery A and say no on this tray thing. So if we've got this pot, right? So we've got this oh, nice. Where are we at here? This mesh. What? I'm like, there we go. So Shift T is going to give me this. But normally, if you don't have add-ons, you would go up to your UV editing tab and to UV, or you can grab on the corner and pull it over, and then you can turn this into anything, right? So you could say this is UV editor now. And then if you don't need that, you just grab on the corner and pull it back over the top of it. But so we got UVs here, and we've got some islands. Like that looks all right. The normal workflow for UVing stuff right now is you set a seam, right? So you would mark seam, And then when you select everything and you press unwrap twice, UU twice, it'll just unwrap based on those. And when you do that, you have a little unwrap dialog here where you can do like angle base, or you can do conformal, which can give you some better stuff sometimes. Angle base is going to be pretty good, but you can see we get some curving and whatnot. This is where it starts to change a little bit, or where like I would say you probably need an add-on. Because like straightening this, you're going to need some type of an add-on to straighten this stuff, or like you could zero this out, right? Bring it to the side. You could pin it and then press L on this and then relax. You could relax this or hit unwrap again, and you'll see you'll get a little bit of a better like straightening of it, if you want to say it like that. But yeah, there's some add-ons that make this type of stuff easier. But largely speaking, everything I just showed you, like you select edges, you mark seam, and then those seams get derived, the islands get derived from those seams that you mark when you press U twice. So the reason I'm pressing U is it gives you UV mapping, and if you press U again, it just selects the most recent UV unwrap style that you went for, like minimum stretching, if you did that one. That one's pretty good now. This one's one of the more recent ones. And you can do iterations on here as well. You can even apply like importance weighting. So this looks pretty good. It's not perfect, right? But it's pretty good. And then from that, you can go, cool, you'll select all these UVs, and then you can do like a UV, and then I believe there is a pack. I haven't used it in a while. Where are we at here? Maybe if I just press U. Smart UV project, light map packing. How do you select edge perimeter of an island? You mean like that? I just double click the edge. And if you triple click, it'll select all of them. You might have to, no, that's fine. Yeah, it'll just select the whole thing. But I'm like, why, where? I'm not remembering pack islands. There it is. So if you tell it not to scale and whatnot, and then the margin, it will pack, but it's not like, you can see it didn't try and do like a different pack. So the add-ons that I would say if you want to push UVs to as far as like good, like covering a majority of all the unwrapping I do, it would just be UV Packmaster for the packing, and then Zen UV. And Zen UV is freaking, there's so much in there that you can do. Like they have a relax for islands. So if I like select this island, I can relax that. And I was telling Eden earlier, like about quick favorites. You can see if I press Q here, I've got quick favorites here of like pack, average, island, scales, and quadrify. And those are just me right-clicking on a thing, adding to quick favorites, and now it's in there. So now relax is in there, for example. Right? That's the quick favorites thing, not an add-on, just straight up Blender. That stuff's super useful. Because then I can just select these and then relax. Yeah, and it relaxes the whole island. You don't have to select the whole thing. But yeah, there's some really useful stuff. Like if I select all these and press Q and then hit pack, this pack that's happening was done by UV Packmaster. So between the UV Packmaster and Zen UV, I can essentially do all the stuff that I normally would want to do. Like if I select this edge and then I think it's just quadrify. Let me look. Maybe not. It's been a little while since maybe it's reshape island. What did I used to use? Dude, it's been a bit. Let me find it here really quick. Because there's some crazy nice tools in here. So if we do unwrap, Zen unwrap, you've got overlap, flipped, hold islands. Stitch faces. It's not that. I think it's rectify. Yeah, there we go. So rectify will do some cool stuff where it's like, so if we select everything and then hit rectify, you'll see it tries to square everything up. So we could take this one, for example, and you can grab this one. If we hit rectify, it tries to square it, and then it adds all the little, maybe we should isolate this piece so you can see what we're looking at here. So I'm going to hide this. And then if you get a radial menu here too, this is the other nice thing about ZenUV. So it's those two add-ons, but we put a checker on there that'll show you like the distortions that are happening to those UVs to make it work. Let's just grab these and let's unwrap them again. And there's some distortion, but I'm just gonna like select the edge here and then rectify. And then let's try quadrify. Yeah, see, that's not even doing it. Reshape Island is a really good one if you, there we go. So basically what it does is, let me try it again. Yeah, so what it does is you select the loop, it straightens it, and then it tries to relax everything to that loop, which can be very handy. So you can see the UVs are much nicer. The checker is part of the add-on? Yeah, so this checker material is part of the add-on as well. So you can put that on to just preview. The other thing that is really nice with this add-on is by selecting loops and then bringing this radial menu up, I can mark edges, right, as like seam, or I can unmark. So swiping left or right will mark and unmark. And it does it as smart as well. So like if I select a island like this and mark it, it marks the selection of the island, like around it, the perimeter of it. So really, really handy add-on. The other thing that's really nice is if you're doing a lot of bakes where you need the UV seam to be a hard edge, you can actually set that up in the settings here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, they even can check texel density for you. It does trim sheets. It also does hot spotting. So if you want to like just select a UV island and then just tell it to find the closest hotspot, it'll just jump to the UVs for you, to the position in the texture. So hot spotting works in there. Where is it? Auto unwrap. Finished. ZenUV. Pixel density. Relax. Quadrify. Oh, dude, this is going to bug me. Is it just in the settings, maybe? I'm just going to go through these till I recognize it. Display, we've got trim sheets, transform, quadrify, relax, island, overlap, stretching faces, Zen link. Force hard on face. I'm confused, but essentially, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like I remember it being right here. Display finish. So one thing you can do, so if I do shift, if I bring up this menu, right, the mark seam, it actually allows you to set it up to also make the edge sharp or not, which I'm seeing like, see, this one allows you to select all the sharp edges. This one allows you to select all the seams. Man, that's kind of weird that I'm not seeing that. Like I'm kind of weirded out because it was very like in your face. Anyways, yeah. It's in the 3D viewport, mark seams as sharp edges Is it? It's only on this side? Oh my God, you're right. Why? I guess it's because this panel is for UVs. Yeah, because see, now it's like, it's right here. So you can click the little thing here and then say mark seams, mark sharp. So mark by angle, and you can just tell it to just make seams or make it a hard edge when it's a seam. Dude, that's hilarious. Of course it's there. Thanks, buddy. Flo, what's up? How you doing? Pulse, good to see you. Just Blender things, hashtag for sure. But yeah, you can see how nice this is to be able to like straighten that out and then just have everything else kind of relax to it. But yeah, if I go back to this one, you can see what I tried to do is just straighten it out as best as I could, and then just have it pack how it would pack. And then I'm just using UV Pack Master to pack. So it's just two add-ons. Yo, bro, how are you doing? Cool. So I think that answered both questions you guys had outside of like the edge loop thing, because small message in general. Okay, let me see if I can. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's go here. We'll save that. So if you had a cylinder and Tobias, good to see you, man. Yo. Is there an easier way to create corners for modularity? I mean, it depends what type of corner you're building. But let me see if I can. So you're talking about taking this. So if you press E to extrude and then right click to drop it, it's still extruded, right? If I press G, it's still there. If I press Alt S, that should do what you're looking for. This is scaling along the normal. It's the same with the faces, right? Thank you so much. Dude, no problem, man. No problem. Modularity. Really quick rundown on modularity. Famous last words. Let's make a plane, right? We'll rotate it and we'll bring it up. I'll just bring it up so it's here. I'm gonna put the pivot at the cursor, so the pivot's there, and then I'm gonna just offset it. So this wall piece we will say it's 4 meters by 4 meters, right? So it's this wall piece, 4 meters by 4 meters. If you need a corner, I mean, you've got the pivot there. If we dupe this and then we snap it to this one and then bring this one here, take this and just do this, now you have your corner in a modular set. But if it's a sci-fi wall and you're doing a lot of details, it's probably, it depends on what you would mirror a majority of it likely. And then from that mirror, do some things uniquely like cabling and whatnot, right? But mirroring helps a lot. It just answers a lot of the shapes for you. And it's just the things that don't mirror. Yeah. I would mirror it and then add elements that aren't mirrored and try and make it not look mirrored, of course. Usually you will want to design the corner, like especially if it's sci-fi elements, usually it's going to be like this. Just make sure that it ends on the grid, right? And that the pivot matches the pivots of other pieces, because then from there you can do all types of stuff. Because anything can happen inside of here as long as it doesn't go past this or too far inside. Yeah, and if you mean inner wall, I mean, that's just the reverse, right? Inner wall is just a flipped version of that. So if I just go into edit mode and 180 it and then move it, I mean, how would I freaking move it to, hang on here. Yeah, because you can see it's not moving equally. That's kind of weird. Grid. Increments, absolute increments. Like, what? I'm just going to manually just sit here and make it do what I want it to do. Because this is an inner corner as well, right? So you can have your wall here, and then you have your outer corner. Oh man, now I'm getting flipped. Hang on. Okay, I'm gonna hide everything. But yeah, if you move this way, and then we put the pivot back at origin to cursor. Wait, why is the cursor there? To origin to cursor. There we go. Okay, so now I have an inner corner and an outer corner. Thing is like you need to know the thickness of your walls as well. There's a video on my Patreon where I go deep into modularity for inside and interior and exterior kits that need to work together. But yeah, if you use a plane axis and just mirror, you're golden as well. It's more important to stay on the grid though, and then you need to know the thickness of your walls. If you're working with like lumen, I think it's 15 centimeters, like 30 centimeters for the wall thickness. It might be 15 now. Check the documentation because they're always changing that as it gets it better. Dude, Sergei's video was dope on Nanite. It was crazy. Let me see if I can live share copy. I'll just drop it in chat here. It'll go up as its own VOD at a later date, probably around the time that the last one is being aired. I'll start to drop them as individual videos so they're easier to follow along with. But yeah. Okay. I think I need to build this thing now. So this is a corner piece, as you can see. This is a 2 meter by 2 meter corner piece. And I've got like a solidify on it because I've just got this going on. And I'm weighting the normals, so I'm not really fussed with the other details. What I probably want to do though is give it some type of detail. Let me just turn all these off for now. And this is where like maybe I should do it in the straight version because it's just gonna be easier. Modify the straight version and then from there have the other ones imitate it, right? So let's do that with this one. Actually, smooth angle, keep sharp. There we go. I'm just gonna accept these. And then I'm just gonna add a detail to under this. Let's extrude this down. Actually, let's take these and extrude these. Now the reason for that is just so that there's some type of interesting shape change in the mesh. It's not just a flat surface. What is going on here? 3D cursor, there we go. Individual origins. And I'm curious if that answered your questions, Eden, on UV stuff. You can see how I just UV'd that, or added the seams for the UVs and all that stuff just by doing that. Like, how handy. So I can be unwrapping while I'm going. Maybe I'll weight these. And then weighted normal, keep sharp, accept. There we go. Kind of cool. Question is, should I have holes in this? How did you do that sorcery? What sorcery? The UVing. Oh, that's the Zen UV with the radial menu stuff. Right? So now if I hit this and just press U twice, look at the UVs. It's kind of sorted. So I'm like thinking about how I would UV it as I go. You broke it again. Nice. Nailed it. So good. So just because this is Nanite assets, we'll probably split this up a little bit. But yeah, dude, it's awesome. Let's put the, oops. What did I want to do here? I wanted to select that, and I wanted to put the cursor to face. There we go. And I'm just gonna like spawn a cube. I'll just scale it down. I think I want wireframes on as well. Not X-ray. Come on, man, please. Texture, crease, blah, blah, blah. Stats, relationships, indices, face orientation. I don't see it. I mean, I could do this, but then I can't see anything. For face wireframe, there we go. Okay, I'm just gonna grab these corners, well, edges. Just do something like that. And then extend this out somewhere around there. Let's like, I need, what is going on? Oh yeah, see, this is one thing that I was happy when I figured this out, but so if I want to add an edge loop here, I can't because this is an n-gon on the top. But if you select all these and then subdivide it, it'll do it. Like I don't know why that is the case, but it'll do it. The other reason I use that often now is like, say you only want it on like these edges, you can subdivide and it'll just add it there, which is pretty handy if you need to insert like just like a quarter loop or like just a portion of a loop. You can subdivide. You can even increase the subdivisions, right? But yeah, really useful. Okay, let's grab this piece. I'm gonna just do that so it's all centered up. And I'm just gonna take this and let's see here. I'm gonna dupe it. Hold Control to lock to the grid. And then Shift R to repeat. I don't know if I like that spacing. Let's try here. Yeah. Yeah. Just going to go the other way. There we go. We'll take all these, Control J, join them up, and then I'm just going to get rid of that loop in the middle there. And then select these, then select this one, Control minus, and that'll give us a Boolean through the mesh. Maybe it's a bit tight in here. Let's, before we do that, let's do this. And the reason I'm going to do this is only because we're in Nanite. It makes it a little bit friendlier for this type of stuff. So do something like that. And then just kind of position this so they're closer to these pieces. That way we don't get really thin, long triangles, and we shorten it so it's just in this like little space here. Okay, now we select this one, Control minus, accept that, and then weighted normals, keep sharp. Oh, right, of course, we need to, I need to fix those too. So I'm going to grab these, and by fix, I mean I need to make these sharp. So I'm just going to grab these, and then mark them sharp, and then weight it, keep sharp. Cool. And it, because I've marked it sharp and with ZenUV, this should still be, yeah, we're still unwrapping stuff in a nice way. If you want to like stop these from being loops, we just go through and just select these. Mark those, unwrap again, and now they should straighten out. Yeah. What are all these add-ons? So I'm only using 2 add-ons. ZenUV. Well, actually, no, not true. Because you'll see this menu. So I'm using Machine Tools, ZenUV, and Packmaster. Do studios really care about what you use if you mainly use it for prop modeling? They don't unless they need to pay for it. You know what I mean? So professionally, I would need to, like if I want to use these add-ons at work, work needs to buy the add-ons, right? I can't just bring them in from home. What is going on here? How come I can't? Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to move this 0.001. And then I'm going to do the same thing, 0.001, and then minus key to do the inverse of that. I just want to give a little bit more space in here because these are extra spicy, like topology-wise. Like you should triangulate these yourself as well, or else Unreal will triangulate it for you. And it might do it differently than maybe like Substance Painter would if you go to bake anything over there. So Control T, triangulate. Gross. Gross. Weighted. Let's just double check this again. Maybe I'll turn this up to like 80 or 90 just to get those edges looking nice and. If we could just YOLO stuff. Never seen you work with geometry nodes. Have you used geometry nodes before? I have. We did I posted on Patreon. I think it's for tier 2. For tier 2, there's a file that I uploaded that is basically a fern that's built in geometry nodes. We built it on stream with you guys. And people that are much more informed about geometry nodes than myself. Geometry nodes is super powerful, and I think you can do a ton of stuff. I mean, we're seeing some really cool like add-ons or little plugins that you can do that just make a lot of stuff easier that are just using geometry nodes. That being said, I don't, just because with me being more in the art direction side now, a lot of the stuff I do is very straightforward poly modeling or like set dressing to show examples and whatnot. So being an art director doesn't really help me all that much, but I imagine for the props team in like a AAA scenario, they could build some amazing GeoNode setups that would help them streamline certain aspects of things, right? And the nice thing is it's not in Unreal. So if you're not a studio using Unreal, you can, you know, you can build a lot of stuff that's like engine agnostic. Okay, so this feels pretty good. I feel like there's maybe too many holes, but I've already taken it so far, which is a bit unfortunate. I think if I were to try and like resolve that, like maybe I don't want these holes here. Maybe I would loop select that one, loop select this one, and then scale it, and then delete the faces. Yeah, and then just cap these. Oop. And then just make sure that they don't have the seam, the UV seams anymore. And then, yeah, and then we need to fix the weighted normals again because the crease has changed. There's also some funkiness going on here we didn't catch. I think also I will make this one bigger. I'll go minus 0.1. Yeah, and then I'll do 0.1. There we go. And we don't need this loop. We're just looking for like semi-even topology. It doesn't need to be perfect, but just so that it culls nicely. Let me see what's going on here. Something's weird. Oh, of course. These don't need to be. Yeah. Let me check and make sure it's all good. There's something going on here. Keep sharp. It's not keeping that sharp. I'm just gonna press Shift G. This is another nice one, Eden, if you're around. If you have like a seam or a hard edge, if you press Shift G, you can select similar based off of what you have selected. So if I've got this one, which is a seam, a UV seam, Shift G, and then I can select seam, and it will select every seam on the asset that's in edit. So I'm just gonna just manually do mark sharp and just confirm that it's all marked correctly. Yeah, it looks like there was some stuff not marking. Why are you building an engineered extruded beam? Isn't that pretty a common prop? So man, Eden, you're busy. So why am I building this? So if I don't build this and I go and I download it, right? Because it exists already, that saves me time for sure. But if I ever have to build it, I'm kind of screwed, right? I'm kind of the mind that I need to not go the shortcut. If we were in production, maybe nicely. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna just dupe this and then select this one. Join these. Delete the faces in here. Make sure everything's welded. That weld that I just did was machine tools, which is the other. If I could only have 3 add-ons, it would be UV Packmaster, Zen UV, and machine tools. Like for sure, those are game changers. Okay, so this one. So now we have this one. I need to move this here, right? It doesn't look right. go. Okay. So these two should be identical, except one's detailed out. Yeah, cool. I'm going to just take this and offset it and then join it to this one. Oh, we don't need all this stuff though. Join. Now the reason I'm joining this over is just so I don't have to rename. It just renames it just joins the same group. And it keeps the pivot of the original mesh as well, so I don't have to think about that either. And then we need to build a corner. So I'm going to take the 2 meter. In the corner. Okay, I just duped the 2 meter. And I'm just going to do like a mirror. And then control period to move the pivot, and then just rotate this. And there we are. And of course, this is a bit weird, so maybe I'll take the topology of this and move it over here. Maybe remove this. And just remember, control period is to go back to like not editing your pivot. So how I'm moving this is I'm moving the pivot around, right? Because the mirror is looking at the pivot because I haven't assigned anything, any mirroring object to it. So it's the pivot itself. Cool. So I'll accept the mirror and then I'll bevel this. And then I just need to clean up the weird seams that I had going. UV seams. So hard ops and box cutter are amazing, but they're so extreme in like a hardcore scenario. I very rarely need what they offer, but I own both of them. I very rarely need them though. I'm just gonna move that and then join. Delete. Nice. Delete. We don't need the solidify. We don't need that. We just do the weighted normals at 90. Keep sharp. Let's make sure weighted normals are good on this one. Oh yeah, it's 90 as well. Accept. Weighted normals. 90. Keep sharp. Accept. Okay, now we have these meshes. Good to go. Let's just select all 3 of them. We'll hit edit and unwrap and check what's breaking. Okay, so we got some wildness basically when we do the L shape, right? I probably will just bite the bullet and just add a seam there and just call it good. Those add-ons make me think, do people really work with Booleans that much? People do work with Booleans quite a bit. In my workflows, I mean, I'm not doing a lot of hard surface work, right? Because like hard ops, machine tools, punch it from machine, mesh machine, that stuff's crazy if you're getting into that type of stuff. That's also another, it allows you to adjust topologies and stuff and modify existing bevels or delete them, make them wider, add more loops to them after the fact. So there's some really good stuff there. But I very rarely need to go down those routes just because I don't use them enough. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of don't want to add any seams here. And now I'm thinking maybe if I move this 0.1, no, hang on here. 0.05 and this one minus 0.05. So if I move those, oh, this is gonna get a little weird, but I'm gonna try anyways. Basically, I'm gonna offset where the seams are gonna happen by mechanically explaining a seam, if that makes sense. So for now, I'm going to get rid of this and this and all of these so they don't interfere with any of the stuff I do in these loops. Preferably I'd do this before mirroring, right? But you can't always anticipate what's going to happen. I'm going to take these, bevel them, add this here, and then take this loop, and then I'm just going to scale it inwards. Maybe it's a little too, let's do something like that. I need it to be a bit small. So then Alt-S, scale that in. Hold down Shift if you need it to be more finite. And then from there, we add the seams here. Boom. Okay, then we add our weighted normals again, keep sharp, oops, at 90. Now I should be able to unwrap this, and it's a little less horrible. Like this is pretty rough. Where's this piece? Oh, right. I wonder if in these scenarios, if in these loops, I don't even need, I have the UV seam, but not the hard edge, you know? Why is that hard edge there? So clear sharp, or no, sorry. Clear seam, and this one, clear sharp. I don't know why that was sharp to begin with. Same with this one. Weighted, 90. See, these should still be sharp, though. It's kind of weird. Did I just not click this? There we go. Classic. Yeah, so by adding those seams, now I should be able to unwrap this a little bit better. These things are terrible. But maybe they can't be helped. Maybe I can... Oh, I see why that loop's there now. Yeah. Trying to think where I would place... I mean, it's not going to help it all that much. Let me just see what happens if I select these. And then, like, quadrify? Ugh. I mean, it looks nice there, but I bet the UVs look terrible. Yeah. Yeah. Gonna head to bed? All right, Boo. Have a good one, man. Oh, Boo. If you haven't left yet, there's an add-on that I was going to show that I've been testing for hard surface, Boolean, and remeshing that you might find interesting. But I don't know if you've left already. Don't worry about it. You can catch it in the VOD. I might just leave those and just, you know, whatever. But let me save this really fast, and I'll show you guys what I was just referring to. So if I hide all these, yeah, tomorrow? All right, dude. Have a good evening, dude. So I'm testing out this add-on for a friend called Smooth Operator. A smooth operator. Dude, if you can get the rights to that song, I doubt it. But check this out. So you make a cube. You're like, cool. I'm just going to scale this up a couple times. We'll go 3 times as big. Because, you know, why not? We've got this cube. You can select this, and then when you click remesh, it just voxelizes it. And, of course, I'm getting a script error. Let's see if that'll get us or not. It'll just voxelize it. And you can see you get these nice bevels. The voxelization is happening on a modifier as well. So if you make it smaller... the bevel gets smaller. I'm like, oh, that's kind of nice. The cool part is you can go into edit and it goes back, you know, because it's just a modifier, and I can go and I can do this and then go back to object mode, and I still get the nice clean bevels, right? One thing that's kind of interesting is the smoothing of normals tends to be a little rough with Blender from the beginning when it comes to remeshing like this. And when you click this smooth normals, it tends to clean it up quite a bit. So I'll show you real quickly what stuff you could do really fast with the right, like if you had this like industrial understanding. Let me find a good material for like visualizing this stuff. Maybe this one. Yeah, this one's good. Hey, thank you, Costa, for the follow. What's up, Andrew? Good to see you. Yeah, so we've got this cube, right? And I've beveled the edge, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to let's turn the modifier off. I'm just gonna like make a cylinder, and then I'm gonna scale it up, and then bring it up here, and maybe I'll auto smooth it. I'll bring another one up, and I'll scale this one, for example, so it's got a bit of a taper to it. And then I'll take this one, and then this one, and then just do a Boolean. I'll accept the Boolean, and then delete that. So I've just got this space here now. And then I'll push this, maybe I'll push this in here and scale this in. And I'll do something like, let's see here. I'll inset, bring this up, something like that. That looks kind of cool. Now, if I turn the modifier back on, right, on this one, it's still doing its thing. And you can see you start to get some stepping here. What you'll probably have to do, actually, let me see if I need to undo this enough, if I can. Nice. These loops for this shape need to be far more, right? But we're just thinking about hard surface, so it doesn't necessarily matter. I'm just going to eyeball this and say cool. Let's select that, do the Boolean, accept the Boolean. We'll delete this, bring this down, and then I'll just do the things I was just doing. Maybe I'll bevel this in like that. Inset, extrude, inset, and then we'll bring, let's see, inset. Yeah, something like this. Okay. Now, if I select this one, turn the operator back on, you can see it's smoothing pretty nicely. You can bring the voxel count down. Maybe, well, yeah, we're still seeing the stepping in there. So it's something to keep in mind. Like you're going to have to really add loops in order to make that happen. But if you select this now and select this and press J, it joins, and you can see it's Booleaning them together. But you actually have some control where you can, like these aren't welded, right? These aren't welded together. So you can actually do combined elements. You can turn this off, and now they'll Boolean, or they'll be part of the same object, but they'll have operators separately of each other, which is freaking handy, man. Like that's freaking crazy. Let me see if I can just like, I don't think I even have the right add-on for doing something like that. Like if I wanted to add more loops, I'm pretty sure there's an add-on for that though. Let's just hide all that, and I'm just gonna do this, do the lazy way. It's not gonna be perfect whatsoever, but it's okay. Cool. Okay, so we take this. Let's grab this bevel, inset, extrude. We'll bevel that again. Maybe we'll round that one. Cool. Yeah, so you can see now you're getting this like, you're getting some pretty nice controls. But dude, the shapes that you can do is crazy when you can work like this. Like if I go and add like a, let's go with like a quad sphere, and I'll just take the center loop and bevel it. Oh, bevel it once. And then we'll take half of it. We'll move it 2 over, and we'll take this one and we'll move it -2 over. And then we'll take this, scale it down. Actually, maybe I'll move it 2 over again, or 1 minus. We can take this shape and push that here. And then you can select this one and do a control minus. Right? You could do this Boolean, and you can move this around, of course. Let's put it somewhere like that. And then you can take this and just turn the smooth operator back on. Oh, nice. This might be because I need to accept the Boolean. Dude, it's crazy, man. But yeah. Are you a 3D generalist or an environment artist or a prop artist? So initially, I mean, when I got into games back when, like, I'm going to exit out of this now. I just want to show you guys that because I think it's really cool. It's a really interesting tool that's being worked on. When I got into games in 2007, was it 2007 or like, yeah, maybe early 2007, I was a props and environment, I guess you could say an environment artist. I got sidetracked. Dude, that's all the stream's about, is getting sidetracked, man. No, I wanted to show you guys that. I thought it's a really useful tool. Yeah, 2007, I got into games as an environment artist, so I was making props and environments for like an MMO. And then from that, I guess I was a props and environment artist for a while, and I was doing like materials and stuff. So I was doing a lot of things. And then I got more into actually just building the environments or propping. Side questing is your favorite? Let's go. Yeah, so largely speaking, I've been a level or environment artist, and then in some cases I've been building assets as well. But I've been in games since 2007, so we're approaching, like, I don't know what it is. I think that's like 20 years. Right? Is that 20 years? I don't know. It doesn't sound right sometimes. Okay, what I'm doing here. Soon 20. Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm going to add a solidify to this. Even thickness. And what is going on there? Why is that doing that? Is this face flipped? Yes, it is. So I'm just going to bring this out, and I'm going to snap it to vertices. I'm just snap it to this one, and we'll just make sure that these come out enough, that this goes up enough. And the idea with this is we're going to make a little bracket thing that I can use for suspending the cables. Yeah. Eden, if you're here, here's another cool one. If you've got like a, so you can see you can move the 3D cursor everywhere. But you can see when I move the 3D cursor, its axes are going to be angled to the viewport. You can see it's always, now it's like tilted because it's pointing at me. If you go to preferences, and I believe it's key mapping, and then 3D cursor, 3D view, set 3D cursor, orientation is set to view. If you switch this to geometry and close that, now every time you do it, it will angle the 3D cursor based off of the normal that you clicked it on with the shift right click. Does environment artists generally level up to technical artists? No. I mean, there's no correlation like that usually. If you're an environment artist though, and you are interested in technical art and you start to go down that route, then sure, yeah. But there's no like paths in that way. How have you found your priorities as an artist shift since you started to now? Less prioritized on art, more about the experience and the game being fun. Like if the game is not fun, I'm gonna be like, what the hell? You know, let's focus on that. But of course, you have people that are in the role of focusing on that, on the game design, the gameplay. So I should be doing my part to make sure that my team is making the art look as good as possible, but also speaking my mind and expressing what I think about what I'm enjoying or not enjoying currently about where we're at in the game. I think everyone would benefit from that. You don't want to like sugarcoat that stuff either, right? But you also don't want to be an asshole. Yeah. Let's do a cylinder. I don't know if that answers that question, but I very much have shifted a lot of my focus to the art direction, but then also the gameplay. Okay, how I'm gonna do this, I think I'm gonna do grid. I'm gonna bring this down to the grid and then scale it up. I'm gonna go by 10 meters. That is a lot. But that is a lot. I'm like, maybe we should be doing this in a blueprint, like we were saying before. Okay, for now, I will just do it here. Let's do like an auto smooth. Yeah, cool. So we'll get this little bolt thing here. We'll scale that up so you can see it in all its glory. There we go. Oh, I have tons of game ideas that I want to do. If so, what genre? I mean, I really like management games and like city building and stuff like that, but I also really like games like The Division or Arc Raiders, those types of games. I want games that you are in the world. You know what I mean? Like you're there, you're dabbling in it, you're part of it. I'm gonna just do this. Join. Nice. Weighted? No. Auto smooth? There we go. Like, for example, Diablo 2, bro, that was like, I felt like I was there. I was in the world while I was playing. So like full immersion and that type of stuff. I like a bit of the survival-esque aspects of games. Not necessarily like survival in what games are today that you think of when you hear survival. With art direction, how do you decide? I mean, I'm just an associate art director. I don't decide. But no, I'm just kidding. You decide with the team, I think. I think it's probably the best way to say it. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now. And I think I'll do these on the, hang on here. You center that up. I think I will do this here. These aren't center at all. Wait, if this is 2 meters, these are centered. That's centered, centered. So yeah, it should be right there. This one should be right there. Nice. We'll select these and let's just do a mirror. Not what I was looking for. That's funny. And I'm gonna take this one and join it to this one so they both mirror. And then let's do a period, and then I'll just shift this so it's all centered up. Nice. Okay. A horror game would be really cool for sure. I like puzzle games. I like games like Control. Doom Eternal, I was huge into. Do you regret any decision you made that later on made it into the final game? So actually, no. Mainly because decisions made by an individual person on a big project rarely have that big of an impact that if it goes wrong, it had to have been that one person that made that call. You know what I mean? What I would regret, maybe not regret is maybe too strong of a word, but like production choices or like workflow choices for how we will do something. There are some clear things on my mind that I won't say because, you know, work, but where I'm like, next time around, we won't do it that way. But now we know not to do it that way because this is what will happen, or these are the reasons it will be this painful, or we can adjust it so it'll be less painful the next time around. Because it's something you have to do, but like, how do you do it? Because those affect people's like day to day. You know what I mean? That's more impactful to the developer and like their morale and like all that stuff. Kind of a weird way to answer it, but I think you know what I mean. Let's accept that mirror. And I'm not going to join those yet because I need to add those to this piece as well. I'll just move over by 2 and then dupe this one. Select this long one and this one. There we go. Okay, I'll join these. Nice. And then we've got this one. We have a corner piece. Let's see what we do here. Would you put a thing on the corner like this? Maybe put the pivot for that at the origin, cursor, mirror. Can take that and join it to that one. Dude, there's so much stuff that gets learned. Every project I've ever worked on, each time you're like, okay, that worked really well for this, or I learned these types of things. The things that I've learned the most, though, is as I've changed roles, going from like a senior to a lead, and then a lead to an associate director, is seeing at those levels, because we try to be quite open with what we're talking about, but seeing at those levels how things are planned or how teams are, because you have to now, as a lead, for example, have to cross communicate with other teams even more and promote that with your own team to make sure you talk to the level designers, make sure you talk to game design, and this feature is not quite done yet. Okay, have you talked to them to see when that's coming in? Maybe we can align. It's all like crazy amounts of communication. So those are things I get really passionate about. Yeah. I just realized I lost the... Oh, see, and I didn't unwrap these. I didn't unwrap these as I was building them, so we have to unwrap these now. And I need to dupe this one, split it off, hide this one, and then join it back. Okay. Cool. I'm just gonna, let's see here. I'm gonna just, all the pivots for these are set up, so. You see, this is a lot of brackets. I don't think we're gonna need that many brackets. It's just gonna look really busy, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just put that one there and delete that one. This is one of those things where you just know it's just gonna look busy, you know? Let's see how that looks. Yeah, so that's every, yeah. And the corner can be a little bit more reinforced. Yeah, that works. From the 8 hours of work, you have 7 hours of meetings, 30-minute lunch breaks, and 30 alone. The acoustic isolation cabin, just screaming and letting it all out. If there's anything I can empower people to do that get into game dev or are in game dev that are being invited to meetings, ask yourself why you need to be there. And if you feel like you don't need to be there, ask the person who's organizing it why you need to be there. Not in a rude way, of course. And if they don't really tell you or they're not sure, they'll remove you from it, or you can not be in it. So you can cut your meetings down. I will decline meetings if I don't think I'm supposed to be there unless they specifically tell me, no, we need you in there. You're helping us make a decision on blah, 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 you know? Cut those meetings, man. If you don't need them, can this be an email? Famous. Politely uninvite yourself. I mean, you can just, they send the invite, you can just decline, right? And if they really need you, they'll poke you. Okay, so these look pretty good, I think. So we're in the project here. They're gonna go here. Let's see how those look when we import them. What time is it? It's 9:25. Okay, let's. Ah, crap, man. Okay, hang on. I wanna I wanna UV all this stuff first. I think what I'm gonna do is split these off. And then UV them. This won't take long. I'm just thinking about where the splits are gonna be. Dude. Okay, let's look here. What is this one? Oh, okay, those are just fitted together. Cool. Okay, now that is sorted, we can dupe this. I can press B. Well, did I dupe it? Yeah. GB, and then make sure it's set to vertex, GB, click, snap. Cool. And then I'll just rotate this with its wild pivot, get it close. GB, corner, dupe, GB, corner. I'm sure there's faster ways to do this, but I'm just gonna brute force it. Okay, selecting these ones. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to select this. I'm going to press Shift G and do face region. Yeah. Why did it only select those ones? Oh, is it because they weren't all in view? No. Polygon sides. No. Coplanar. Okay, screw it. I'm going in. Oh, no, I can't just go in. Oh, no. All right, we're doing this in reverse. L, L. L, we're going material. There we go. Then invert, delete. Faces. Okay, and then these get joined. Oh, this one only. Join. Oh, wait, am I losing their names? I need to make sure I'm joining them in the right order. This to this. Join. This to this. Join. This and this to this. Okay, 3 meshes. Nice, nice, nice. UVs, unwrap. Weird corner thing. Let's pack them. That's not great. Let's see here. UV Packmaster. Let's add heuristic search, which just gives it a search time. So it'll try and find good UV layouts for 2 seconds. And then pixel margins, we'll just make sure that is set to like 8 pixels. This should probably give us a little bit better. It's a little better. So you get some nice padding in there. And then I just click to finish the action. So we'll just unwrap there and then we'll pack. Something is very not great here. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to pack all of these in. Actually, these two. These two we'll pack together. I'm like, do I pack them together? Dude, not great. Yeah, sometimes brute forcing is faster than contemplating the faster method, for sure. I mean, that's... What does it look like if I do both of these? Oh, it's pretty. Oh, it's pretty. How about this one? Average islands, just make sure that they're all the same size. Like in world space. So it's kind of like textile density to themselves. Let's pack that and see what that looks like. Dude, these really screw up stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna pack that one. And then pack these ones together. It's just too clean. Cool. Okay, let me export these. What if you split those corner edges with seam in the middle? Oh, you mean like a geometry seam? Because the reason I didn't do that is so that they would be more uniform. But if I added like a loop inside it, then you could maybe hide the seam. I mean, we could try it. Let's see what this stuff looks like. 4 meter corner, 2 meter. Oh, dude, these need to be at their origin too. Export 4 meter. Export 2 meter. Corner. Tray. Re-import. Cool. Cool. There's an import issue. Light tray. No smoothing groups. Oh, nice. Let's, okay. It's probably this dumb bug here. Geometry, smoothing groups. And what is this, 4 meter? Export. Smoothing groups, 2 meter. And then corner. Re-imports. There we go. There we go. And then from that, we just need to get a material on these, yeah? Let me just open these up. I mean, it looks like it's using a light tray material, which is using background, duct metal, yeah. Like more, tile it more. Input maps, yeah, duct metal. And then normal, we just didn't have the normal on there. The detail normal. I mean, what does it look like if I... Normal intensity, 1. Detail normal, 1. I'm like, is it there? You're just going crazy. Yeah, I might be going crazy. Ooh, that's a nice, Softy, what's up? How you doing? We're working on, this is our like community group project. We've been working on. I'm just gonna turn that off. I don't think we need, dude, nice. I think tiling wise as well, because I didn't set the UVs to anything in particular. It's probably fine. Famous last words. But yeah, we're working on a little group project here for our community. Light tray material. I'm going to check that out. And then I need to make sure these get saved, which means checking those out as well. I can show you, since we're near the end of the stream. We got like 30 minutes left. Little. I mean, you're not wrong, Martin. It's me downplaying my excitement, okay? Little huge. Yeah, true. All right, where are we at here? Little huge. It's 0 point small. Is, yeah, what you would call it. All right, let's see. I think this is the volume. Just dangerously hit play. There we go. Right? Yeah, cool.
Employee 31612 was unable to complete the audit. Thank you for
Oh, there's some other props that are showing up now. It's cool.
1646.
Hey, Cobbler, thanks for the follow. Yeah, so this, for anyone who has not seen this before, basically, we have like a challenge, a monthly challenge that we're usually doing on the server for our community. And I'm always trying to come up with monthly challenges with moderators every month, and that's pretty taxing. So we just decided to make, or rather, I decided
Welcome to Site Egypt.
to just go for it,
All personnel must clock in at the reception
and let's
desk
make
at the
something
start
a
of
little
their
bit more.
shift.
Elevator, dude, that door bug was not fixed. It just happens sometimes. I don't know why.
Clipboards are required while making audits inside the facility.
Oh, the speakers are working
Unused
now.
Clipboards can be found in the designated break room area.
If you got earphones on, you should be able to hear that, like, switching angle.
All staff must maintain protocol and carry their level 1 key
Who does the
card
gameplay
at
stuff?
all
It's a little bit
times.
of
Misplaced
one of
key
our
cards
own
should be
DEF CON.
reported to the control room immediately.
And then also now night vision. I don't know if night vision's in the. You can see we haven't done anything in here in a while. We mainly been focusing on specific beats.
To initiate the audit, please proceed to the control room for facility activation.
We gotta go to the control room. Yeah, so this is what we're building. Go to the control room here. Dude, it's really cool. I'm so excited about this stuff. Like the quality and like ability to try and solve problems and work together it's really cool. And I think that's where you're getting the most, like, that's where you're learning the most, is how to work together, right? Dude, Softy, that's great. Yes, see, we need to do stuff in here as well. But the area we're focusing on now is the catalog, which has been moving pretty nicely now. We got some really good details. A little dark right here, and there's some eye adaptation issues to solve with the post-process volumes.
Warehouse 1, known as the catalog, contains research and information on
Let's get this, and there's a
currently
puzzle to
recorded
solve.
SCPs.
But we'll just walk around in here, and you can just kind of look around. Oh yeah, we've got sounds on the floor now. Hang on. I'll turn it up more. And if you step on the metal, it should just sound... Yeah, dude. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm excited about it. Seeing that we need to fill these shelves up with boxes, so you have to pick up these boxes, figuring out, using the ledger, figure out which ones you need to move to get to. How much does rent cost for this Batman research cave? It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Let's see. Grab this. You get some lore on the thing you picked up. Let me get the other ones, and I can show you some of the other features we have. Can I sneak and grab this one? No. It's the other thing we need to figure out how to like block you from grabbing the ones that aren't yours. You can't grab through. That's cheating. And then I think, yeah, the last one's here. Can I grab this one from here? No. Oh, I think I know how to fix the being able to grab through. I just need to put a collision plane or like a thin cube in the center of the shelf so you can't cast through. That'll probably fix it. Oh yeah, the bunker in the middle of Stockholm. Dude, that thing's cool. That's our internet provider, actually. That's their office. So we got the three, and I think if you look at, yeah, see we got maps too and stuff. I think if we go to this one, yeah, we get a code on the last one. Right now the code's just 1, 2, 3. But she'll show you how this works. So you just click this, and then And then that'll open up. I got the new table in here too, which looks pretty nice. Looks good, looks good. Got the little key card that I need to probably move a little closer to the edge. And we'll put some objects on this table that are being analyzed. Cast channel. Oh, you use a cast channel to separate what you can select? Or distance action? Or distance interaction, rather. And then this is the next place we're going to be looking at after. We'll probably look at it tomorrow because we have a meeting tomorrow. We'll go through what we think needs to be done here, and then we'll finish up all the tasks on the previous place and then jump onto this one. Yeah. Yo. Exciting stuff. So you can filter. That's interesting. See, I'm still learning this stuff because, like, me being from, like, the AAA space, I've largely always been focused on art. And now we're in a position where I'm like, okay, I want to look at more stuff. So I take a little bit of extra time out of my day to make sure that I'm also involved in the feedback for gameplay and stuff like that. Not just during playtests and whatnot, but yeah. It's in the settings menu. Oh man, I'm not going to touch that stuff. Not with night vision looking at it. But it's in project settings. It's called cast channels. I'll note it down. Anyways, cool. Yeah, so that's what we're working on. And I'm looking at just these assets. If we want, I think, because I'm not texturing them right now, I'll probably just be doing a mask setup for them. Maybe I can just place a cylinder so that we can see it in the map for now. We'll just scale this down and then bring this up. Let's go 5 meters and see if that's enough. You would hope it would be enough. And I'll just do this very simply. Auto smooth. Let's just like position. I need to see better. Let's do both. There we go. Yeah. Were there other questions in chat that I maybe have missed? Put that there. And this one here. And then I'll just... Nice. Nailed it. Okay. Join. Oh, right. We need one there too. No, other way around. Dude, every time. Let me just hide these. And this one looks like it's just this one. Or no, what? Oh, this isn't supposed to be here. Oh, it's supposed to be here. Dude, wild. Join. Weighted. 90, 90 plus. Oh, I see why that was there now. Cool. Okay, and then there you go, and then there, join, weighted, 90, keep sharp. Nice. One thing I need to start getting used to doing is like putting all the assets inside of another mesh and then putting the modifiers on there. You can see how I'm always doing the weighted normals modifier on everything. But if they're all inside of a group that it has those modifiers, then I don't need to be doing that every time, you know? It'll just happen like it's in the stack. And I always forget to think that way. But yeah, we'll get there. Yep. Exports. What is this one? The 4 meter. We have the corner. And the 2 meter. Re-import. Nice. Still looks like a lot. Maybe the corner one doesn't need all those. Yeah, you can use it empty, right? And then parent them all inside of the empty. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so what I'll do with the corners is get rid of these and just let the corner be its own like corner cable setup. Corner. Re-import. And then all of them, it looks like, need to go up another 4 meters, 3 meters. Cool. 2. Let's try 2. I need to get my exporter set up again so I don't have to sit here re-exporting every single. No, so close. Oh, I should have just listened to my gut. 4 meters probably was what it needed. 4 corner 2. Bulk exporter, explain please. Yeah. So it's probably even installed. I'm just haven't been using it. Unreal Engine modifier here. So this add-on, Unreal Engine exporter, you can export objects, object properties. You can see we're going to just export recursive, Blender standard FBX, and then we're going to tell it where to export the FBXs. Export process, it will export. You can see what it's going to export. So it's going to export 1 Lot 0 static mesh tools. So it's like a bridge. I guess you could say it's like a bridge. I mean, I'm just going to take these and you can see like which things are going to export. See, this doesn't even say, it only says one's going to export right now. So let's do this. Export recursive and then export recursive. So if I grab all 3 of these, it says 3 assets will be exported. It shows what they are. It shows where they will go. Catalog light tray. Export for Unreal Engine. Let me see if that's going to wait, what? Nomenclature underscore SM. Export static mesh. And I'll just point to this folder, right? So that export to Unreal Engine. Exported 3 assets. And then I should be able to right click these, re-import, and they would just update. Yeah. The cool thing is you can set up Unreal to look at where those files are being saved, and Unreal will pay attention to when those files update and then re-import them automatically for you. So nice thing is now I can right click on this and add to quick favorites and then just have a export to Unreal Engine button here. So if I take all of these and lower them and then select all of them and then export to Unreal Engine, I should be able to go back here, re-import. Yeah, see, they didn't update. So I don't know. I'll need to look at like how that's set up, because it says it's going to export 3 assets. There's a way to automatically re-import, especially if you just have it export directly into the Unreal project. It will just update. But that's bad practice to have FBX files in your project itself. It'll eat up your memory like crazy. But yeah, you can, in Unreal, you can have it look at a reference and it will watch that reference. This export is super nice. I'll go to I'll drop the GitHub link for you. There you go. But yeah, I don't know why that wasn't working. Well, I'll have to look at it more to see what's the down low. But I mean, this is all here now, which is great. It still looks like the blockout material, right? Because it's because this material is very yeah. It's very similar to the blockout from like a glance like this when I don't have masks or anything like that on there. Let me see what we can. You could take the roughness maybe and shift it. Make it more reflective. But I don't know if you need that, you know what I mean? It's super weird looking. And it's been authored to be like a specific type of like duct metal. It's the same one we're using on this stuff, right? And then you're just giving it a mask to go between them. Yeah, so you update the source like FBX export, right? And then Unreal can be looking at that reference, the location where the FBXs are being stored, and then automatically re-import, which I don't recall how you do it, but it's in their documentation on UE5's documentation site. Do you use a lot of unique texture sheets or rather opted for trim sheets, decals for this project? A lot of this is unique textures for props, and then macro things like these rocks and stuff. These are going to be like unique normal bake, but then material is tiling, for example. This one is just masks, and then we're using a lot of layered materials, which is probably one of the bigger things we're doing. And that's helping us a lot with like adjusting and iteration and stuff. But like, for example, if we go to the props level, we don't need to save that. We're just updating meshes. Yeah, if you go here, we have a bunch of props, right? But like, for example, all these here, these are cool. Lots of detail. A lot of it's modeled, and then there's just like materials on them. But if you look at, let me think of a good example. Like maybe this prop here is a good example. I just dupe this. We'll just move it over here so we can look at it closer. So this material is it's 3 materials, right? But they're all using the same maps. And then we're just using layered materials. Like we have a fill layer for the rust and dust, which now I think we have a rust material. So did I bring that over yet? I don't think I have. but I know we have it. We have rust and dirt. But essentially, you bring that in, and then we're using masks. So the thing that's probably the most unique are a bunch of masks. Right? And then we're just like, you're switching between which mask to use. And then like we can invert the mask if you want to see it. And shift the contrast around. But it's really compressed, as you can tell. But yeah, you can change the color of that rust too if we want it to be like pink, for example. And we got roughness values on it. We've got if it's metallic or not. So we're doing a lot of layering on top of stuff. And then like if we look at the color, you can see it pretty nicely. Dust. Where's the blend for this? Layer strength. So see, we can like crank this up if we really wanted to, but it looks like there's no clamp happening on it or like a saturate node. So it like caps out and it just becomes black, which is not great. But yeah, we're using layered materials. It's probably the best way to be like keeping stuff pretty cheap. So you have at the very bottom, we've got, let's see here. So we have a normal coming in. So we have like at the very bottom, we have the metal, which is just a fill, which maybe we can be using base aluminum. Whoa, there's 2 base aluminums. That's not great. But if we switch that to base aluminum, the aluminum on the body will change, right? And then maybe it's too reflective, but we have all those properties exposed to be able to like push that stuff around. So if we need to, we can make it rougher. And then maybe we need to tile it more or something. Or there's a detail normal that's on it that we need to increase. There's a lot of stuff you can do with layered materials. It's pretty cool. Doesn't it affect shader complexity? It does, but it's pretty minimal. Of course, it depends on like the scope of your project and like what you're doing, but yeah, it's pretty minimal. Anyways, okay, we're at 10 o'clock, so I don't write a lot, but I watch a lot of your stuff, and I want to say thank you for all the great learning. Oh, dude. PC Cafe, dude. I recognize your name. Are you in Malmo? Or you're in Sweden, at least, if I remember correctly. But yeah, no worries, man. No worries at all. There's, I can probably show you the... So we have this resource called the Empire Command, which I'm in the midst of like trying to upgrade and replace with game dev codex. So this is like a place for like trying to find resources, as well as like this Empire University thing where I'm trying to document things, right? That are repeatably useful. I feedbacked your stuff a few times. Dude, nice. Yeah. I remember the cafe part of your username. But I'm trying to transfer all of this to gamedevcodex.io because I think this is where everything's going to go forever. I will run this site until I need to start telling someone that I'm going to pass away and they should take over. But yeah, these are all accessible. If I take this one and drop that one here, the more up-to-date one is this one, the Game Dev Codex. If you have, it's okay, Madu. Hang on. Something fell. What did Madu hear? Yeah, something tipped over in the hallway. Maddie bumped something or something fell. And Madu's like, the people that were knocking on the door, they're here. But yeah, just a quick rundown on this site, just because like it's very much work in progress. Essentially, I'm trying to organize it in a way where, let me zoom in on this. So you've got like all topics, which shows everything. Then you have fundamentals, techniques, workflows. So workflows and pipelines, I don't have much in, right? Production, career advice, and then all of these things are just topics, right? You can suggest a topic where you click here and you can suggest a thing, and then it'll show up in a library, and I can use that for like perpetuating ideas to discuss in our community. And I think the cool part about that is, like, for example, some of these, let's see, like the networking online and in person. This was a conversation that was had on our community that I then took like the good quotes from it, as well as linked the people that discussed it, and turned it into a post that's useful for people that want to learn about networking for online and in person, right? So let's say that you could suggest a topic. I can go and look at that list of topics when I need an idea for a discussion, and then we would make that, and it would be a monthly discussion. Usually the discussion usually dies off maybe like a few days after. But then later I'll convert that to a post, and then it's credited as like Empire Community. And then at the bottom you can see like who was involved in the conversation, and it goes to either their LinkedIn or their portfolios or whatnot. But it's pretty fun. The other thing, you're suggesting thumbnails. I'm kind of avoiding too much imagery, just because like I want the imagery to be in the post, but I want you to be reading what you're looking for versus like seeing. See, and I'm adding all this type of stuff where you've got like interactable views for like seeing the difference in roughness and like what adding detail, fidelity on top of your roughness, what it does for your asset. All this type of conversations, and yeah. It's really, dude, it's addicting. I love doing this type of stuff. And if you have ideas, you can suggest a topic, or you can just start talking about it in the Discord. Sometimes conversations pop up in the Discord, and then I just grab that whole conversation and go, hey, can I use that stuff? And yeah, recognition, impact, and motivation. Dude, this is like, no one talks about this stuff. Or no one really posts about it that much, or it's hard to find, right? So, yeah, if you want stuff to be here, or you want to find things that aren't on here, suggest it, because like I'm gonna just keep adding. This has only just started maybe like a few months ago. So, yeah, art test advice, detail normals, how those work. Dude, this one, salary reviews and career growth. Yeah, man. Anyways, I'm recognizing your impact, right? Dude, thanks, Robin. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. But cool. I will only be able to take this as far as people help as well, though, right? Like the suggesting of topics is going to be really helpful for helping guide me into investigating and discussing certain topics. But cool. Okay. I think that was me. I think I'm going to start some music and skedaddle, as they say. Something like that. I'm like, is there music? There it is. There it is. Okay. Also, this Thursday, there will be 2 talks. If you haven't looked up the Dynasty Empire on YouTube, there is the streaming VODs are there as well. And Theo, I'm just seeing your message about the Emperor has spoken. You're not wrong. Yeah, there'll be 2 more talks this Thursday. DinCon has been going on for a couple weeks now. And we're just inviting people to talk about topics and whatnot. If you follow our YouTube channel, it will be pulled from the VODs of the stream and actually turned into single videos. So if you don't feel like digging around looking for it, it will eventually pop up again. Just follow the YouTube channel and it'll happen. Okay. I'm going to get out of here. Have a good evening, guys. Thanks for hanging out and welcome new people. It's nice to see some new faces as well. So cool. If you have any questions, I'll be in the Discord. See you guys later. Peace.